Shalom everybody. In today's video, we will be doing a deeper dive into the divine construction of the body. We will be analyzing the secret of the lungs, the chest, the arms and the legs, and the overall skeletal structure. So with that being said, let us begin. Continuing in the Torah of Mashiach, Likutei Yida revealed, we will be picking up on page 46. The Zohar states regarding Mashiach that 22 letters were flying in the air, and none could understand them except for Mashiach with great difficulty. These 22 letters referred to the 22 aspects of the respiratory system. The emanator formed within the Atik 22 aspects for the air, and in man formed the respiratory system. He formed the lungs with its lobes like a serpent flying through the air in the midst of its boards, its wings being the lungs, and it provides for the heart. The section in question is in Book 18, Shlach Lecha, in which it states in 288, all these letters never rest. They stand out and sparkle externally, and rise and descend. No one could understand anything about them except for Mashiach with great toil. Now these 22 letters, which are flying through the air, are being identified as the 22 aspects of the respiratory system, as it was shown. And regarding the portion in which it says he formed the lungs with its lobes, like a serpent flying through the air, in the midst of its boards, it is mentioned in Technical Gate 34 called the lungs on 250. Regarding this, the serpent flies through the air, beating its wings by the lobes of the lungs. And this serpent's power was in speech. Thus speech is emanated from the air of the lungs, and its lobes are its wings. This is further expounded upon in Likutei HaMoran, Book 7, as well as mentioned in various places of the Zohar. It reads, the Zohar states there is a certain serpent in the middle of the bars that flies through the air having 6 wings, and of which is blind. The secret of this serpent is the tongue, of which is the reason it is blind. Its 6 wings are the lobes of the lungs, and it flies through the air, because the lungs fill with air, by which the voice is projected by the tongue. Page 47. As with the chest that contains 25 bones, so too in the location here are there 25 aspects to the lungs. And they are shown above. So we see that in addition to there being 25 bones located in the chest, there are also 25 aspects to the lungs. Now, I will expound the mystery at hand and understand that in each of the spheros of Chokmah is the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, and this is the value 26. The root of the skeletal structure is thus in the secret of 26, When applied in the principle of Imkolel, we find that there are 27 bones in the hand, 25 in the chest, and 26 in each foot. This is because the skeleton corresponds to Chokmah in the world of Asiya, and this Chokmah of Asiya is rooted in the Chokmah of Atzilus, containing the name Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei with its respective Nikudim, as it has been explained to you elsewhere. Thus we find that the Supreme Emanator formed the skeleton according to these lights. He took the name Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei corresponding to Tiferes and formed 25 bones in the chest. He then placed in Bina, the flesh, and formed 25 muscles and placed them together. They are 12 pairs of ribs and the sternum. The Supreme Emanator took the name Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei, which values 26, and Chesed and Gevura of Chokmah, with their respective Nikudim, and with these lights formed the hand of the Atik, which is the 27 bones in the hand of man in his skeleton, which refers to Chokmah, and they are. He sealed these two with the 63 name, which was Yod-He-Vav-He, as it was explained, and these were the 27 bones plus the 34 muscles, with one for each hand equals 63 aspects, and he divided them as hay. So we see here 27 bones in the hand, and they were combined with 34 muscles. We can see a list of those 34 muscles here. Collectively, they correspond to the 63 name. And this is because in the beginning of the Sefer, it was revealed that the divine name Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei corresponds to a man, the He being two arms, the Yud a head, Vav the torso, and the lower He the legs. We find that these are 72, 63, 45, and 52 names. Thus we find that the He in the secret of the arms was divided according to the 63 name. In this we find that our hands are after this exact likeness, and it has already been explained and made known to you the secret of the 72 name in the head, that being the 22 bones of the skull, the 43 muscles of the face, and the 7 organs, which total 72. Now we see the 27 bones in the hands and the 34 muscles with their 2 parts, for 63. And he took the names Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei of Netzach and Hod and their respective Nikudim, and with this light formed hands and feet in the Atik, and 26 bones in the feet of man's skeleton. They are the secret of the 52 name, which is the lower He of Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei, corresponding to 2 legs. Thus, there are 26 bones in each foot, and together they are 52, in the secret of the 52 name, and so there are 52 bones in the lower He, which are the feet, as shown here. He placed them in Bina, and there were 29 muscles, and this was the secret of return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. An example, under the hands. The word her hands, Yadea, values 29, for she prepared muscles for the feet of that man. An example, the 29 muscles. The Supreme Emanator took the name Chesed and Din of the Spheros, each containing 3 letters, Chet Samek Dalet and Dalet Yud Nun, and formed from them 3 bones in each arm, corresponding to the 3-letter name. The Emanator took the name Gedulah, and with it formed 5 fingers for Chesed, and this is Gedal He, an example, the Great 5. He then took the name Gevura, and formed with it the left hand, and this is Gebur He, or the Mighty 5. And with it he formed the 5 fingers of the left hand. He then took the letter Yod of each of the Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei in these places, and he expanded it into Yudalit, or hand, Yad. And with it he formed 14 joints to the hand, 3 to each finger and 2 to the thumb. And he did the same with the Yad of Netzach and Hod, and formed 14 segments to the 5 toes. He then took the Yod of Tiferes and expanded it, formed Yad, and made 14 segments to the body. They are the 3 segments of each arm, upper, lower, and hand, the 3 segments of each leg, upper, lower, and foot, the torso, and the head. Thus we can see a representation of the following. We can see that the 5 fingers are the secret of the 5 letters Gedulah and Geburah. We can see that the 3 letters of Chesed and Din are the 3 bones in each arm. We can see that the 3 letters of Netzach and Hod are the 3 bones in each leg. We can see that there's a name of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei for Chesed, Gevurah, Tifres, Netzach, and Hod, which correspond to the amount of bones located in the hands, the torso, and the feet. We learn that Gedulah and Gevurah can be read as Gedol Che, or the Great 5, and Gevurah can be read as Gabur Che, or the Mighty 5. Taking the first letter of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei and expanding it, Yud-Dalet, we yield 14, or Yad, which means hand. And so we find that the hand is divided into 14 segments. We find that the torso is divided into 14 segments, being the 3 segments to each arm, 3 segments to each leg, the torso, and the head. And we find that the 14, or Yad, is expanded amidst the toes as well. Thus, the entire root of the skeletal structure is to be found in this mystery. It was also explained that the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei corresponds to the sphere of Chokmah, of which it is written, Rashis Chokmah, the beginning of wisdom, is Yirat Hashem. We find that inside of the spheres of Chokmah, that the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei with its respective Nikud corresponds to each sphera. Thus, the skeletal structure, which is the Chokmah of the world of Asiya, corresponding to the Guf, or the body, that the skeletal structure is in this exact pattern and likeness, being a branch to this Shirosh, or root. Now the Holy One gathered the waters together into 2 places, and this is what is written, of the waters under, referring to Netzach and Hod, the heavens, in example Tiferes, be gathered into 1 place, in example Yisod, and let dry ground appear. From this we learn that water is gathered into Yisod, and so the Supreme Emanator gathered water into the Yisod of the man's face, which is his mouth, so he salivates, and gathered it to the Yisod of his body, and so he urinates. Thus we find, let the waters under the heaven, an example Netzach and Hod, located under heaven, which is the sphere of Tifres, be gathered to 1 place, an example Yisod. Thus, in relation to the tree of the face, we find that water is gathered into Yisod. And regarding the body, we find that let the waters, an example Netzach and Hod, under the heavens, an example Tiferes, gathered to 1 place, an example Yisod, refers to the reproductive organ. Thus, water is gathered in the face via the mouth, or the Yisod of the tree of the face, and water is gathered into the reproductive organ, an example, the Yisod of the body. And for this reason, we salivate and we urinate. It is written of the 6th day, which is Yisod, let us make man after our image. Thus we find that man is made according to the image of its parents, and emerged from Yisod, which is the reproductive organ, to be received by the same, an example, the womb of its mother, where it is created by Elohim, which is its mother. And so there are 3 that join to form the man, the father, in whom gives its bones, the whiteness, the mother, in whom gives its flesh, the redness, and the Holy One, who gives its soul. On the 6th day, which corresponds to the sphere of Yisod. Thus, when it says, let us create man in relation to the 6th day, this teaches that the human being, Adam, who is called Zakar v'Nukva, male and female, is created through the sixth day, which is the reproductive organ, or an example, Yesod. After our image or likeness teaches after the image and likeness of its mother. Now that will draw us to a conclusion. Consider very carefully the deep, profound mysteries that are being revelated for the very first time, glimpses of the Torah of Atzilus. With that being said, as David HaMelech stated, open my eyes that I may behold the wonders of your Torah. Shalom, Selah.